Government powers and the ways to exercise it, literature review. In determining various ways in which the state exercises its power, the author will search deep into prior literature and journals written about the government and the powers it holds. We will be able to articulate and formulate research questions that will help us analyze this topic critically. The plan is to understand the different kinds of powers the state possesses through research from other peer-reviewed articles. First, the writer will mention any amendments that may have been structured to involve the powers given to the state, then note the authority and how the government can misuse it, and lastly, the difference between federal and state powers. In the recent past, the association between state powers, judicial, legislative, and executive, has been reformed. Various literature was researched to understand the powers given to these bodies, including journals, peer-reviewed articles, and books. The state is dependent and different from the federal government in that its powers are not credited but are native. Several debates have been tabled to analyze why the state and the federal government are not co-joined but rather perform their duties separately. Some controversies surrounding the state powers include questioning how the three powers of the state can harmoniously showcase their administrative authority. Additionally, to see if they can maintain balance and achieve an equilibrium between them and act in the interest of those they serve. Another debate surrounding this study area is what would happen if the states misused their power and used their supremacy to oppress the minority. Having understood the plan and the structure in which the state exercises its power, it is also better to understand the aims and objectives of the paper. The paper aims to explain different ways in which the state exercises its powers to its subordinates. In understanding how the states use their power, one can analyze other mandates given to the state by the Constitution. This paper aims to explain the capacity in which a state can control behaviors and enforce orders around its territory. Also, it proposes educating individuals on the different powers the state has and when or where it can implement its capabilities. The research questions can be derived from the topic itself. Some of the most appropriate research questions for this paper include: in what areas are the states forbidden to exercise their power? How does the state affect people around its jurisdiction when it exerts its powers wrongfully? And what would happen if some of the state power was delegated to local self-government bodies? Having answered such questions, an individual can understand why the state was chosen to be the bearer of the powers it exercises. Researchers are encouraged to focus on the study methodology to guarantee the validity of the results acquired. Researchers use different approaches to obtain information regarding various issues. Social media is of enormous importance to researchers and scholars in posting and selling their articles online. This has enabled these articles to receive a wide range of audiences from different nationalities. In this case, various online platforms have been beneficial in acquiring the relevant resources for this research. Such materials included journal articles and other peer-reviewed articles from different authors, which were vital in explaining the diverse powers given to the state. With different authors having different ideas, their materials were fundamental in the research as various concepts about state power were explained. Different criteria were utilized to get the best material for the article during the research of the materials to use in this assignment. With search engines such as Google Scholar, there is a vast range of materials that provide relevant information about how the state utilizes its power. Materials encompassed in this article included works of different philosophers and authors from different walks of life, each with a different view on how a state can exercise its power. Additionally, the search was filtered to incorporate materials written recently due to the continued constitutional changes that happened to modify different laws and bills of rights. Due to this reason, choosing peer-reviewed articles that have been recently authored is vital in that recent information and new changes will be highlighted. Materials included are those that have been recently written and with relevant information concerning the given topic. Peer-reviewed articles are essential in providing valid and reliable data. Therefore, reports that were not peer-reviewed were excluded from this research. As the world revolves, systems change, and these vicissitudes must be included in recent works. Since older articles do not entail information on recent alterations, they were excluded since they cannot give accurate material. Papers that do not have proper references were also excluded as their sources may not be reliable. Online sources such as Wikipedia and CourseHero were excluded from the list as most researchers discourage using such search engines and mainly provide unreliable information. Having a solid plan structure and research methodology, the writer can focus on the research topic. Choosing good literature for the review will help one get the desired content and provide reliable literature information. Having outdated and unreliable sources can give the writer false information or outdated information, whereas the audience is looking for current affairs. Peer-reviewed articles should be used in all academic sources as their data is reliable, and most of them are updated on current affairs.